Tonight we take a moment to add our recognition to the retirees of the East China School District, and to help us do that, Mrs. Keita Canoe.
Thank you very much. We want to welcome all of our retirees and thank all of their colleagues and families for attending tonight. We're here to recognize their contributions to the East China School District that they have made over the years. Our retirees represent different employee groups working throughout the district who have made an impact in very unique ways that impact on students, staff, and on our community. So I'm glad to have you join me in honoring them tonight. Each of the retirees has a number just under your name on your name tag. So as I call your group number, please come forward to the front to be recognized and just create a line across the front here. To get us started tonight, if we could have group 1, which is primarily our elementary staff, come forward at this time. So as I call your name, if you could step forward to accept our thanks and a token of our appreciation for your service, presented by our Board of Education President, Mr. Michael McCartan, to all of our staff, and President of our ECA to our teachers, Eric Longuski. So first tonight is Lorraine Hoover. Lori has always stepped up to each challenge she has faced and kept the students' needs first. She is a paraprofessional at Gearing Elementary, hired in 1994. She's served our special education and at-risk students at several schools, including Gearing, Pine River, Marine City Middle, and Marine City High in Washington, to name a few. Her determination to help each of her students reach their potential is always evident. The positive impact she has made on the children with whom she has worked will be her lasting legacy. Thank you, Lorraine Hoover. Robbie Kafkas, principal at Palms Elementary, hired in 1989, was a teacher as well coming into the district. If you know Robbie, you know that she's a kind and caring person who possesses an inner core of strength. Her calm, gentle approach with people and students has helped to provide an environment in which people can take risks and maximize their growth and learning. Student achievement and success are extremely important to her, as well as promoting wellness. She's always tackled new projects with determination and energy, and has the ability to look at the positive aspect of all situations, which is critical, particularly in these days. We will definitely miss her cheerful spirits and the leadership she's provided to the district. Robbie Kafkas. Dorothy Lear, currently a 4th grade teacher at Bell River, hired in 1999. Dorothy's kind and gentle ways and smile have added a great deal to the climate of Bell River Elementary School. Early in her East China School District career, Dorothy served as an academic support teacher, in which she greatly impacted the academic achievement of students in grades 1 through 5 at both Washington and Bell River Elementary Schools. Currently, from her hands-on science and her classroom auctions every month, she has created a lot of excitement in her classroom if you've ever been in it. She's touched the lives of many students and colleagues throughout her career, and she will be missed. Dorothy Lear. Roseanne Mock, 1st grade teacher at Bell River, hired in 1995. One thing about Roseanne is that she has been a leader in so many ways within the district and has been a mentor to many. Within her classroom, students experienced Pioneer Days, Revision Museum, and the 1st grade Christmas pageant. Creating those memories, Roseanne has always responded to each of her students' needs through encouragement and support. Additionally, her involvement as the PTO liaison has positively touched many students and colleagues throughout the years, and has really helped to create a collaborative spirit with our parents at Bell River. Roseanne is going to be missed. Roseanne Mott. Patricia Nichols. Patty was hired in 1973, and she is currently at multiple buildings and has served as a special education teacher and most recently a teacher consultant. She can be seen working with students and staff in almost all of our elementary buildings. She's been the foundation in the special ed department as one of our lead teacher consultants. She constantly advocates for all of her students and is known as one of the St. Clair County experts in the language reading program. Her expertise in the assessment of special education students has had her contributing to the professional development of her colleagues. Patty is always a cheerful, kind, positive presence in all of our buildings, and she will be missed by students, staff, and administration. Patty Nichols. Although Becky Phillips was unable to make it tonight, we certainly want to honor her service to the district. She was hired in 1992 and currently serves as a media paraprofessional at Bell River Elementary. And anybody who knows Becky knows her love for literacy. She's known to all as she's often teased about loving the smell of new books. Her gentle, kind ways made trips to the Media Center definitely a special event for all of our students and staff. When combining her prior assignment as a Title I paraprofessional with her smile and excitement for books, she's been the perfect fit for a media paraprofessional at Bell River. We wish her the best in her retirement. Becky Phillips. And one more round of applause to our elementary staff. And as they're walking back, if Group 2, our middle school and high school staff, could please come forward at this time. First up is Betty Babble, Administrative Secretary at Marine City Middle School, hired in 1991. If you know Betty, she is definitely fiercely loyal, dedicated, and hardworking. She always goes the extra mile and does it with that smile on her face. Betty's kept life in the Marine City Middle School office fast-paced and fun. She is a devoted mariner and an employee who has been very committed to doing her job at a high level. We're going to miss particularly her knowledge and expertise, as she often found and shared solutions to challenging problems or software issues with our other office staff. Our best wishes for some great rounds of golf and joy with grandchildren in retirement. Betty Babble. Tom Balk was unable to make it, but Tom was hired in the district in 2002. And is currently the assistant principal at St. Clair Middle School. Tom has been a hardworking, dedicated employee and has always put kids first. He worked hard at creating a team atmosphere with our parents and students at St. Clair Middle School and has spent much of his career with middle school students. And if you know middle school students, that may sound crazy to some, but it really was a perfect fit for Tom. His understanding, caring nature was exactly what students need at that age, and Tom consistently delivered. We'll miss his very positive attitude and approach to his position as St. Clair Middle School. Tom Balk. Ray Manahan was also unable to make it tonight. He was hired in 1984 as a custodian, is currently assigned at St. Clair Middle School. Ray has always been a hardworking employee who's shown care and concern for the building, working diligently at keeping St. Clair Middle School in top form. Don't be fooled by his quiet demeanor, as once you get to know him, you quickly sense his commitment to his work and pride in the wing of the building he's assigned. Could always be found to be very clean and ready for students and staff. We appreciate his dedication and caring nature and wish him well in his retirement, spending quality time with his wife and family. Ray Manahan. Tim Sherrill, also unable to be here tonight, a custodian hired in 1979, was assigned to Marine City Middle School. Tim has always been known for his upbeat personality and sense of humor. You could often hear his laugh throughout the hallways of the schools he served and could count on him for his positive demeanor. Teachers and students knew they could count on him to respond quickly to the request and that he would do the task happily. We wish Tim good health and the best in his retirement, as he has been missed. Tim Sherrill. Patricia Bebuck, hired in 1981, currently a business teacher at Marine City High School. It seems apparent to most that teaching business and computers is directly connected to the real world and that students would easily apply what's taught in these courses to their lives. Yet Pat always took it to the next level, teaching way beyond content and technique, using this curriculum to teach life lessons. She's been committed to helping students improve and succeed way beyond the school doors. She's been a member of the building's leadership committee and helped make many of the important decisions that have a direct effect on Marine City High School students. It's difficult to measure or count the number of students that have benefited from Mrs. Bebuck's mentoring, instruction, and guidance. Thank you, Pat Bebuck. Georgia Phillips, office paraprofessional at Marine City High School, hired in 1987. Georgia has been a valuable member of the staff at Marine City High School and instrumental in how efficient our office is operated. While on the front lines of greeting parents, students, and members of the community, she has always been an ambassador of Marine City High School. The importance of accuracy in the details was an essential element of Georgia's job, and she could always be counted on in this area. Outside of the office, Georgia has been a positive contributor toward the success of the Mariners in all areas. Thank you, Georgia. We will miss your greetings in the Marine City High School office. Georgia Phillips. Anthony Scarcelli, hired in 1986, physical education teacher at Marine City High School. Tony's work as a teacher and coach has earned him the respect of our students, athletes, staff, and community. He's been an assistant and head coach in football and the girls varsity track coach for many years, and has been instrumental in beginning the Marine City Youth Football Program and developing younger athletes by teaching fundamentals. As many of you know, he has received several state-level coaching honors, highlighted by the boys varsity football state championship. If you talk to past players, what they mostly remember about their experience as a Mariner is the tradition and honor it is to wear the black and orange. Tony has a great deal to do with that memory. We wish him well in his new endeavors. Tony Scarcelli. Dan Shunk, custodian, hired in 2000, currently assigned to St. Clair High School. Dan has been a hard-working employee who has shown care and concern for the buildings in which he has worked. He has always been flexible and attentive to whatever the needs of the buildings have been. His kind, sincere demeanor has made him the ideal colleague and employee of our East China School District team. It's hard to find a nicer guy. We appreciate Dan's dedication and wish him well in his retirement. Dan Shunk. David Seddon, assistant principal at Marine City High School, hired in 1992. Dave has taught business education classes, coached boys and girls basketball, and has served as the Marine City High School assistant principal since 2007. He has been instrumental in establishing a positive school climate and environment, consistently applying our student code of conduct, and helping to shape the lives of many students. We are excited for Dave as he'll be heading south to join the rest of his family in South Carolina, where he'll serve as the middle school assistant principal in the Lexington 1 school district. We wish him the best. Dave Seddon. Robert Siskevich was not able to be here tonight, but physical education teacher, most of us who know him, hired in 1987 at Marine City High School. Bob has been in education for approximately 37 years, as a teacher and coach at Marine City High School for the past 25 years, and 18 years as the varsity football coach. Bob recently was selected as a member of the Michigan High School Football Coaches Association Hall of Fame as a result of his outstanding coaching career. Bob is respected and admired by his students, both past and present, who he has taught many life lessons. He has been a rock and has set some tremendous foundations at Marine City High School for not only our students, but the staff as well, who will miss his wisdom and guidance. We wish him well in his retirement. Bob Siskevich. And one more hand for our secondary staff. And if Group 3, our district department and central office staff, could come forward at this time. First is Karen Trombley, secretary in our special education department, hired in 1994. Karen has been a tireless worker and vital, important part of the special education department since 1994. She is often the answer person, and as I understand, the director's personal spell checker. He's going to miss that. Karen is one of the friendliest faces parents and children see every morning as they come to the early childhood program, and she always has a kind word and a smile for everyone coming into the office. Additionally, she has worked efficiently behind the scenes to complete what we know are the mounds of special education paperwork and to assist in the meeting of timely deadlines. We're going to miss her in so many ways. Karen Trombley. Nancy Cushing, bus driver, hired in 1996 in our transportation department. Nancy's service to the students of our community is greatly appreciated. Being a bus driver can sometimes be challenging work, or probably always be challenging work. Yet we could always count on Nancy to be dependable, reliable, and a wonderful team player. She's a trusted, valued driver who had a good understanding of the responsibilities of being a school bus driver while being also a pleasant colleague to work with. She was an excellent role model for our students and a true asset to the transportation department, as she was always available and willing to help out in any situation. Nancy Cushing. Linda Furtaw, bus driver, hired in 1984 in our transportation department. Linda has been a dependable, reliable employee for East China School District and possesses the skills necessary to safely transport our students. But way beyond the technical skills, Miss Linda always created a warm, welcoming environment on her bus. I know I speak for both the students and parents on her bus route because I've taken some of those calls in saying that she'll be dearly missed as she's known as their favorite bus driver. Linda always has received wonderful compliments from our building staff as well. She's about the nicest person you'll find. Who better to have transporting our kids? Linda, you've been a true asset. Linda Furtaw. Donald Byer. He refused to have his picture taken, so this is a motion shot. And that is how you would see Don, or as I always like to call him, Donnie, always in action helping the district as our multi-trades technician. He's been an invaluable employee of the East China School District. The knowledge he has brought to the position as our multi-trades technician has been a true asset to the district. Whether it's been crawling around the tunnels of the old St. Clair Middle School or secretly fixing the clock tower at Eddy Elementary, Don can repair anything. He knows about every piece of equipment, plumbing, and electrical problems we've had in the past 28 years. So I'm really hoping in his retirement that he'll consider writing a book to record this information so we're not starting from scratch around here. And I know where to find him when we need him, so please answer your phone. Really, Don, we sincerely appreciate all of your quality work. Don Byer. Larry Aspenlater, Director of Operations and Transportation, hired in 1978 at our central office. Larry has a long history with the district and has served in many capacities, most recently as our Director of Operations and Transportation. He's very hardworking and dependable. No matter the hour of day or night, he could be counted on to go above and beyond the call of duty with a smile. His longevity in the transportation department is commendable, having worked through unpopular boundary changes, school closings, and lots of years of slippery, icy roads, with a great safety record for our drivers and an excellent rating on our buses under his tenure. He willingly took on the large responsibility of the operations department and used his history and experience in the district to maximize the quality of that department. He is enjoying retirement, and I heard has never loved snow days more than now. He is missed. Larry Aspenlater. And lastly, Angel Cornejo was not able to be here tonight, but is a custodian hired in 2001 here at our administration building. Angel has always been a hard-working employee who's shown care and concern for whatever building he has worked. Most recently, he was assigned at central office, where he not only prepared for meetings such as this, but kept our offices and preschool rooms spotless. Additionally, Angel performed our courier duties, where there was no better person to interact with all of our building staff in a professional way. Angel was able to go beyond the scope of his assignment to keep this building operating at maximum. His pride in quality work and hard work is truly his trademark. We appreciate his dedication and miss him here at Central Office. Angel Cornejo. And one last round of applause for our Central Office and department staff. So at this time, we're going to just stop the meeting for a few moments and enjoy some cookies and punch and more, enjoy our colleagues and chit-chat with our retirees and wish them well.
Look at him, he's all happy. He's got cookies, juice.
Thank you. Our next item of business is the consent agenda, including the approval of minutes, payment of bills, financial statement, schedule of investment, Michigan High School Athletic Association, annual participating resolution, and the annual renewal of the food service contract. A motion will be in order to approve.
So moved. Support.
Moved by Mr. McNamee, supported by Mr. Kletcher. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the like sign. Motion carries. At this point, we'll pause, recognize anybody wishing to address the board. I do have one card for those of you who are not accustomed to our practice. There are cards if you wish to address the board. So I would like to ask Mr. Hughes to step forward.
Good evening, everybody. First, congratulations to all the retirees. Most of them left already. We're going to miss you, that's for sure. According to St. Clair County RESA's transparency reports, superintendent salaries in St. Clair County are as follows. Yale Public Schools, $112,150. K-PAC Public Schools, $118,835. Marysville Public Schools, $122,527. Port Huron, $130,229. Algonac Public Schools, $137,449. East China School District, $148,625. The only superintendent who makes more than East China is RESA's superintendent at $159,774. In my opinion, $148,000 is too much money for our superintendent when East China School District is strapped for cash. When all of our support staff are forced to take concessions and get threatened with privatization if they don't, shouldn't our superintendent be in the same boat? Let's face it, anyone who administers cuts should himself take cuts. And about contract negotiations, has the board even seen a copy of the contracts? They're ridiculous. I have a copy of the contract given to the bus drivers here. And listen to this. First annual snow day is without pay. Easter Monday is a non-work, non-paid day. First 2 sick days are unpaid. Longevity is eliminated. But listen to this. If more than 5 retire/rehire drivers convert to PCMI, the following shall occur. If 6 drivers elect to convert, first snow day annually shall be paid. If 7 drivers elect to convert, Easter Monday shall be a paid holiday. If 8 drivers elect to convert, one of the 2 unpaid sick days and longevity will be paid. They will also not have membership or any other rights provided within the master agreement between ECSD and Teamsters Local 214, except the annual September bid. The exploitation of the workers via this forced contract is nothing short of a thinly veiled attempt to liquidate their bargaining rights. As Vladimir Lenin once said, a lie told often enough becomes truth. This is a philosophy that our district almost seems to live by. In the past year, our staff has been robbed of their pride, their love for their jobs, and sadly, their collective bargaining rights. As stated on the district's website, we are proud of our employees and appreciate their hard work in making our district great. Thank you to all people involved in the process and their efforts to reach agreement for savings for the district. Is this how our superintendent repays his workers? by destroying the very thing that our employees have worked hard to build? Our superintendent is a very intelligent man, but he is a businessman, and this is a school district. We need a superintendent who is here for the students, not the money. We need a leader. A leader is someone who can take control of a situation, as challenging as it may be, and still be able to lead by example. When a leader fails to do so, they fail those that count on them. Now, I also happen to have a copy of our superintendent's contract, and I'm going to read a few interesting points. Compensation for the first year of the contract shall be $148,625. Said salary shall be reviewed annually and is subject to upward revision by agreement of the parties. In no case will the salary be lowered. Superintendent shall receive the following fringe benefits. Superintendent shall be entitled to 25 days of vacation each year and shall be entitled to paid holidays established by the board. Superintendent shall be granted 18 days sick leave per year. The district shall pay the state retirement contribution. In recognition of longevity, the superintendent shall receive a $10,000 annual payment upon completion of 6 years as superintendent. The superintendent shall be subject to discharge for good and just causes during the term of this agreement, but the board shall not arbitrarily dismiss him. The superintendent shall be offered the opportunity to join both state and national superintendents associations with the costs of dues for said membership to be borne by the district. If you had a chance to read the agenda for tonight, the new board policy states this: act as a truly representative body for citizens in all matters related to programs and operation. The board recognizes that ultimate responsibility for public education rests with the state, but the Board of Education has been assigned specific authority through statute, and the board shall not relinquish or fail to exercise that authority. In closing, this has been a very difficult school year for everyone. Pointing blame is not the answer. Doing what is right is the answer. If the superintendent won't do what's right, and the board won't do what is right, it's up to the parents to do what's right. This November will be a very exciting month. Things need to change. This is the only way. Please keep the children in mind while you are at the voting booth. Do the right thing. If not you, then who? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Hughes. Others? Seeing none, we will move on to reports. Begin with the superintendent's report. Dr. Green.
Thank you very much. And we are excited that we had our graduation ceremonies last week. And in total, East China School District had about 450 graduates. So congratulations to all of those graduates and to the parents. We're very proud of our graduates. We are offering a summer school program again this year for high school students, and that will be held at Marine City High School. First day of classes is not until July 10th, so there's still time for parents to get their students signed up. Also, we will be offering a summer school program for elementary school in August at Pine River Elementary. The July board meeting is set for July 9th, and the board will hold its annual organizational and regular meeting as well. Next year's graduation is set for June 2nd, which is a Sunday, and we'll run the same schedule as we did this year. Marine City High will be at 1 o'clock at the Marine City High School gym. Riverview East will be at 3:30 at the Performing Arts Center, and St. Clair High will be at 6 p.m. at McMorran. We have had several construction and repair projects going on around the district, and they're starting in earnest here now that school is getting out, and that will be coming from our sinking fund and from our bond project fund. So state funding for schools has been resolved for 12-13. So schools at the base foundation, all the schools in St. Clair County, except for East China, will receive $120 per pupil. So that's an increase, and so they're at the base, and we're a little higher than the base, so we don't qualify for that. But there will be a performance incentive, and there also will be a best practices incentive. So East China should be able to qualify for all of those incentives. So that's about what we planned on our budget when we did our work here this spring. So it's very close to what we had suggested that they would be doing. So the retirement rate is still scheduled to go to 27.37%. So that will be subject to change if they do pass the retirement reform, which has been in the House and Senate. And this week is probably the last point when they can make that change before they go on recess. So that could happen this week. We have had a wonderful school year. We've made a lot of accomplishments. And if you think about back to the days when we were talking about the budget cuts and what would have to happen and how would it all work, not only did we accomplish all of the budget cuts and we have a budget that's reasonably close to balanced, but we were able to settle all of our support staff contracts, and they were overwhelmingly ratified by the support groups, so we're glad about that. We were able to reduce staffing because of our decline in enrollment, but we were able to do it without laying off any staff members from the teaching ranks. So that's a huge accomplishment. At this point in the last 10 years, we've had to reduce about 200 staff members, but we have almost no one on layoff. So it's a huge accomplishment for our community and for our district. We're proud of the way we've gone about business, and what a year it's been when you consider the performance that we had with St. Clair High School and Marine City High School, both doing a great job with their ACT results. So been a great school year. Congratulations to everyone. We had some great retirees here tonight, and I think that was 21 retirees, 22. So a lot of service there that we're going to be missing, but certainly we wish them well as they go forward. So congratulations on a great year.
Thank you, Dr. Green.
I got a question.
Mr. Volsky.
Best practice you talked about in performance incentive. Can you give us some examples of what they're thinking about? Or?
Yeah, the best practices, there's 8 things that they have on their list, and they're things that we are really doing pretty much already. I mean, one of them is things like bidding out for privatization like we did already this
Right,
year.
okay.
Another one is being the policyholder for insurance and things like putting up your data website. And so really, I think on the 8 best practices, I think we're doing all of those.
Okay.
So I think we'll qualify for that. The performance incentive has to do with math and reading, and it looks like we will qualify for both of those based on our student results. So again, some of the county districts won't qualify for that, but we will. So I think we'll be in good shape with both of those new
I'm just
funding.
curious what examples
Yeah.
you're talking about. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Green. Move on to the next report item, reproductive health. Mr. Fitzmaurice.
Dr. Green and members of the board, I'm here this evening to go over the district reproductive health curriculum and program. Michigan law requires that a report is given to local school districts every 2 years on sex education practices. The nature of the report is to share recent activities and compliance issues. East China School District is an abstinence-based school district. It promotes abstinence as the only way to completely avoid the negative consequences of being sexually active. It also teaches ways to reduce the risk of pregnancy or HIV, STD infection associated with sexual activity. The other choice the school district could make is abstinence only. So this is the choice that our board made back in the past. Every district choosing to have a sex education program must have a sex education supervisor who oversees the program of instruction. So that is my position currently. Also, a district that chooses to implement sex education has to have a sex education advisory board that meets periodically to review materials and methods and make recommendations to the district regarding changes in our program. We currently do have a very vibrant board that we actually met last week. So we have all members of our board present, and we're working on recruiting a couple of teenagers for next year from our high schools. So this is the membership. It's parents, educators, students, clergy, a community health professional, and the law requires that at least half of the voting members be parents with children in our district. The Sex Education Advisory Board establishes goals and objectives for student knowledge and skills, reviews the materials and methods and recommendations to the board to the school board for implementation, and evaluates measures and reports the attainment of program goals and objectives to the Board of Education every 2 years. So that is obviously the reason for my presentation this evening. It's important to understand why a school district would offer sex education, so a definition is good to share with the public. Sex education includes all educational opportunities which help individuals understand and prepare for those experiences in life that deal with the social, physical, emotional, and mental aspects of human sexuality. So it's important that our students learn these areas of topics, and also that we have a sex education advisory board to help determine those areas of need. Our current curriculum is 4th grade girls puberty and boys hygiene. That is taught currently by Sue Sutter, who's our district nurse, who goes to the elementary buildings to deliver that program. 5th grade girls puberty and boys puberty is taught every spring. 5th grade HIV and AIDS prevention. That is actually a state law that every building that you have, which ours is obviously elementary, middle, and high school, has HIV and STD prevention programs. Middle school sex education and high school sex education. All parents with children who are scheduled to receive this type of instruction have a right to know. So they're contacted by letter, and all parents have an opportunity before the classes begin to review all materials that will be shown and watch all media used in instruction. And they also have the opportunity to either opt in or opt out of the program. They can opt out of the program for that particular year or for the total time period which their students enrolled in our district. The Sex Education Advisory Board does have goals that they have determined for 2012-2013. That's to educate new board members on the responsibilities of serving on the SEAB board. So we do have quite a few new members. We have had that meeting and went over the type of information we're going over tonight. Conduct a parent survey in the fall regarding sex education for K-12 parents to serve as a need assessment for curricular topics that's being taught. Conduct student focus groups at the high school to assess our accuracy of instruction and meeting the needs of the children in our K-12 environment. We look forward to doing that to gain some insight on the kids who are living in this day and age as far as this topic is concerned. And host a parent involvement activity in the East China School District. We're trying to get the Talk Early, Talk Often program to come back to East China to help our parents with that. So, are there any questions from the Board of Education this evening as far as our sex education program?
Board member questions? Mr. Folsky?
On the advisory board, how many people approximately are there?
I have about 10. So it's 4 educators. We have a clergy member, a nurse from the community county health department, and then the 4 parents.
Okay, is it K through 12 representative?
Yes,
pretty
it
much
is.
so, on the panel? Okay. I'm glad you got a clergy involved. I like that idea.
Other questions? Thank you, Mr. Morris. Move on to our 2 action items, which are related. We have our 2011-12 budget amendment as our first item.
And I'm going to just handle that. It's our normal schedule, and if you look at the budget, you can see that it reflects the current program offered. And so what we did is just go through and try to match things up and make sure it was as close as we could make it. But you can see overall it's not very much different. The one big change was the way they classified the retirement offset. They wanted us to classify it as revenue instead of as credit against expense. So that's that $517,000 under state sources there on the increase. And then, of course, then you had to increase the expenses as well. So that's really the big change, and it does get a little closer to being balanced. So at this point, about $494,000 in deficit, which is a little over 1%, but we do expect that the audited amount will come in a little bit better than that in the fall. So pretty solid budget considering the situation that we've been under with the decline in enrollment and the decline in state funding and the increase in retirement.
So if I understand it, this budget helps us close out this current year that we're in, which ends on June 30th.
Right.
And the next time we'll see numbers related to this budget will be when they're audited numbers and final.
Exactly.
Motion would be in order to support the recommendation that the board approve the amendments to the 2011-12 general operating cafeteria and latchkey budgets as presented.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Bieber,
Support.
by Mr. Folsky. Any comments or questions? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Now we'll move to next fiscal year's budget, the 2012-13.
So this is the same exact budget that you saw on May 14th, and it has the resolution attached to it starting on page 26. So this is just the General Appropriations Act resolution that we do every year. And the budget itself follows that, and it's what we talked about on May 14th. So again, this budget is a little bit out of balance, about $731,000, but considering we were facing a $3.3 million shortfall, it's very much closer than what it could have been. We do expect that, again, we can draw this closer as the year goes and things become more known. And the fund balance stays pretty solid throughout the next fiscal year as we go forward. So we are recommending that we approve this budget as presented in the budget hearing and tonight.
So a motion will be in order to support the proposed 2012-13 budget.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Folsky,
Support.
by Mr. Kletcha. Other questions or comments?
So the clarification, the committed percentage is still hanging in the 10%?
Yes, what
Category.
page are you on?
36.
I think it is.
36?
36.
Yes, the committed percentage is still the 10%, and then the unassigned is the overage of that.
Gotcha. Good.
Other questions? All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I will move on to informational items, begin with policies in our packet beginning on page 41.
So each 6 months, we get policies from Neola and a chance to review and update. And the first one is really dealing with board powers. So this is all the new laws that were passed a year ago. And if you look starting on page 44, you can see that this follows exactly what the law says in terms of decisions that we can make without subject to bargaining. So starting with J is about the placement of teachers, and then so on and so forth on page 45, all of the various things that are in the law that can be done without bargaining and are prohibited subjects of bargaining. So that's what the first one is.
You're talking about law, you're talking about state law, Lansing?
Yes, it's state law.
Okay.
It's the laws that were passed last year regarding placement of teachers and seniority and tenure and things like that.
Okay.
So all of those are basically prohibited subject to bargaining now, and so they have to be in your policies instead of in the contract.
Okay. How does this deal with bargaining with teachers? Have they seen this or know this is
Yes,
coming,
they
or-
know that this has been passed, and they know that these things are not going to be allowed to be bargained over. And so when we start bargaining with the teachers, they will, we'll have to, obviously, we'll have to strike some things out of the contract that are prohibited subject to bargaining.
Okay, all right.
So the next one is on page Probationary Teachers. And then, again, this is a new law on page 49, and this is where they're required to do 5 years of probation, except in certain situations to get tenure. And so this is just updating that policy to follow the new law.
Presently, it's 4 years, right?
Right,
So
exactly.
Okay.
So yeah, you can see the 4 years is crossed off there, and then the 5
okay.
years is put in.
Mhm.
So that's that one. Then the next one has to do with Sex Offender Registry. And this is one of our current policies, but we're adding just one statement in there that that the activities could be designated in writing by the superintendent or the principal in terms of if they were going to be prohibited from participating in any activities. And then also the school principal may adjust the school classes or schedule to provide for adequate supervision. So this is our current policy, and we're adding those two statements to make it a little bit stronger. The next one has to do with internet acceptable use. And so you see that's our current policy. And then in bold on page 55 would be the addition. And so mainly it's the online activities during class. And so it says actually staff members shall provide instruction for their students regarding the appropriate use of technology and online safety and security. So we do that, and that's required now to put that in. We want staff members to monitor online activities of students while they're at school, and certainly we do that as well. So that's put in our policy to make that a little bit stronger. And then that's also true on the next one for the staff. So if you see on page 59, we have we've put in here that staff members are prohibited from disclosing, disseminating personal information regarding minors. So this is kind of the social networking thing where we want to just make sure staff members are aware that they should not be doing that. And I think we have made that clear, but we're putting this in policy that we want that professional development to occur with our staff. And so then we also want to provide instruction in staff members how they're to monitor, and that's where the online activities is supposed to be monitored by staff. So that's that, and again, this is a staff policy as opposed to the student policy. And that's it. So these internet policies are under the Children's Internet Protection Act, and so we're wanting to make sure our policies match up with those laws that have been passed.
And the process, these will come back for final action next
Yes.
meeting or sometime in the future?
Yep, and if you have any questions in between, give me a call, but basically, they're pretty straightforward, and we'll have these for approval in July.
Thank you. Other questions? Hearing none, we move on to board calendar. You have the calendar in front of you. And with no other action to take place, we stand adjourned.